so that when they take the blood, they call it adrenochrome. I don't know much about adrenochrome. All I know is that that's the blood that's what they call the blood when you're in extreme fear. That's what I've learned. It has to do with adrenaline. Adrenochrome. Adrenochrome is blood with adrenaline in it. And people take it to look younger. And they also feel high from it. That's just so disgusting. That is so disgusting. So disgusting. Anyways. Yeah, so Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12, God is real, God Almighty is real. John D. Rockefeller even said, oh yeah, I was talking about like him and them, whoever he's connected to or with, poisoning our clothes, like the chemicals, like the type of material they're using. Poison, yeah, we can get poison from our clothes. I guess I was supposed to say chemicals. They're also poisoning our air with chemical trails, or sometimes people call them contrails. They look like planes, and on the inside, it's a bunch of tubes with chemicals in it. There's like big jars in it, like multiple jars filled with chemicals and tubes, and it shoots out from the plane. No passengers, just probably 2 or 1 person in the plane. Just a couple, not like a plane where they take you from America to another country or from Spain to Colombia, I don't know, but it's not that type of plane. This plane is only filled with chemicals and they shoot it out. You know, those lines of clouds, you better stay away from it. Once you see that, if it's above you, you better go inside a building or something. I don't know, just stay away from it, because when it lands on you, it causes Alzheimer's, infertility, cancers, and all these other things that's deadly. It affects the plants in the most toxic ways, and they have tested it under the microscope after there was chemical trails. There are people who have taken some plants and have put it under a microscope, and there were chemicals that they found. There's a lot of aluminum that they put in it. I think there's also barium in it. But yeah, there's so many chemicals. There's even a whistleblower that worked for I'm not sure if she worked for the CIA, the NSA, or FBI. CIA is Central Intelligence Agency. NSA is National Security Agency. And FBI is Federal Bureau of Investigation. That's what I know about America. I lived in America for quite some time, but I've also lived in the Philippines for quite some time. I don't really know much about the corruption in the Philippines, but I do know there's corruption here too. There's corruption in every single country in this world. Yeah, there's corruption everywhere. It's not just America, it's not just the Philippines, but best believe there's definitely corruption in America, the Philippines, and the rest of the world. And I would not be surprised if every government is connected with each other. Yeah, they say, oh, Russia and China are fighting over oil. For example, it's just an example. I don't know if they've ever fought with oil, but it's just my example. Or they're fighting over oil or this land. Don't believe everything that you hear. Because yeah, there could be some truths, but there's definitely a lot of lies. There's more lies than truths in this world. So you need to make sure that you decipher what's true and not. And the last thing I'm going to tell you is do not be afraid. God said in the Bible, do not be afraid, for I am with you. So number 1, make sure that you remember this for the rest of your life. This world is Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12. The wrestle is not against flesh and blood, but against evil spirits in the unseen places, okay? That's what this world is about. If you don't understand it, you need to make sure that you really read the Bible so that you can understand, okay? If you don't understand it, keep reading, keep seeking, because God said, seek and you shall receive. No, he said, seek and you shall find. Ask and you shall receive. Knock and the door shall be opened. So it's all biblical. It's all supernatural. They're trying to dumb us down with all of these chemicals, with these stupid, meaningless distractions, with the phones, with TikTok, with Facebook. I post things on Facebook to hopefully bring people closer to God. I do use social media to bring people closer to God. But stop meaninglessly scrolling. Stop watching stupidity. You're not stupid, so stop watching stupid things. You're so powerful. You don't even know how powerful you are. Also, before I go, I want to say that witchcraft is real. And I used to not believe that until I was close to God, because I myself have experienced it. God let me experience it so that I know that it's true. But before I experienced it, I believed that it was true. Once I truly seeked God and had supernatural experiences with Him, which I will not reveal or say to protect myself. But only God can truly protect me, because I can protect myself all that I want, and even others can protect me. But if my destiny is to be killed, then that's where I'll go. So all I'm saying is that I don't really want to say that. I don't want to share certain things because it's personal between me and God. But all I'm going to say that witchcraft is real. Satan is more powerful than you when you are not with Jesus. But when Jesus is in the picture, Jesus is obviously more powerful than Satan. God Almighty versus Satan, God Almighty prevails. But when you don't have God by your side, I'm not talking about the God below, I'm talking about the God up above, okay? When you don't have God up above by your side, if someone does witchcraft on you, don't be surprised if you die, or if you're gonna get affected by it so badly to the point you're in the hospital, if you even make it to the hospital. And it'll be a miracle, if you're not close to God or Jesus, that you survive witchcraft. But just know that Satan obviously has powers. Satan is very powerful. Satan is very clever. Satan is very wise. He's the master of deception. He's like sugar, but it was actually salt. Have you ever tried drinking coffee and you thought it was sugar because it looked like sugar, but when you put it in, the coffee mixed it, drank it, and the taste was just, you probably spit it out because it was salt. That's what Satan is. He's a deceiver. He pretends that he's sweet, but really in reality he's not. He's bitter. And that's also in the Bible. What sorrow await, I believe it goes along the lines of, what sorrow awaits for those who think that light is dark and dark is light, that sweet is bitter and bitter is sweet. And there was a third line, but I cannot recall exactly what it said. But you can't say that good is evil and evil is good. You know? Good is good, bad is bad. You cannot say good is bad and bad is good. You can't do that. You're either on the team left or team right. You're either in a team below or team up above. There's no gray area when it comes to this life. And trust me, I used to be in the gray area. I'm not saying I was a witch or a Satanist, but I claimed to be a Christian, but I was not a Christian. I was not seeking God wholeheartedly, and I was sinning against God. I was not living by His word on the Bible, even though I read some scriptures here and there. But now that I seek Him wholeheartedly, when I read the Bible, I really, really soak it in and really, really try to live by it. And I don't make excuses to myself like, oh, well, I'm just human. I make mistakes and God will forgive me. No, 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 no. That's not an excuse. If you know that that's not right, you better not do it. And if you do, because you are a sinner, then just don't take advantage of God. You know, God knows your heart. If you're taking advantage of Him, you think you're tricking Him, you can't trick God. No one can trick Him, not even Satan. But that's what I want you to know. Satan is very powerful. Look at what he's done to this world. Look at how much people are brainwashed in this world. There was this video I found. I think the guy said 80. Hold on. 80. 85, 90, 95, 100. He said I think it's this. He said 80% of the world is blinded and brainwashed, right? 15% is the powerful ones. Most of those are Satanists. The 5% are the ones who have awakened. I'm one of those 5% who know God, who know the truth, and we are not Satanists. When we tell the 85% and we are against the 15% because of what they're doing to the 85%, and including us when we were not awakened yet, they tell the 15% who are powerful, who are mostly Satanists, they tell the 85% they do smear campaigns about the 5%, like, oh, he or she is a rapist, he or she is a human trafficker, he or she is a drug addict, he or she is a terrorist, he or she is a pedophile, he or she is a criminal, he or she is this, that. They will do anything and everything to ruin that person's reputation so that they can either gang stalk them, put them in jail wrongfully, imprison them, and or hospitalize them wrongfully. And they say hospitalize in mental hospital. Like, oh, he or she is just crazy. No, everything that I said is true. Yeah, I'm not here to play when it comes to the truth. I hate... I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not gonna say that. It's besides the point. I'm not gonna say what's besides the point. But yeah, so I just want you to know that when it comes to witchcraft, you need to be close to God, despite if there's witchcraft or not. There's definitely witchcraft around there, but I don't know if someone's doing witchcraft on you. But since Satan has power and his demons have powers too, you will not be able to fight against the witchcraft if you don't have God by your side. I mean, God is always with you, but if you're not seeking him wholeheartedly, you won't survive it, or you will suffer from the witchcraft for a long time, and you don't have to be if you are close to him. But it will be a miracle if you don't suffer for a long time, if you don't get affected by it at all, and if you don't die from it when you're not close to God or Jesus. But best believe you will be protected if you seek God and Jesus wholeheartedly and you serve him, you live by his example, you live by his words, you will be protected. And if you go through it, just know that it's not that he's not protecting you.